right, welcome to Cafe Wish Podcast Interview. But I believe it's a fact somewhere. Meaning this is an opinion of mine, but I believe it's a fact also. Is that some people walk around day to day not even contemplating these things. Yeah. They just live in it, not really understanding the systematics, the mathematics, the science of the social engineering of how they even exist in this type of hub or bubble called society. But they know that they're experiencing it. And they may not have the words to say, they may not have the concepts to consider. They may not even know that these things are a thing. They just know I'm feeling this thing here. And I don't know why I'm feeling it. And I don't know what this thing is, right? So having these type of conversations shines a light on these topics, right? And like I said, I want to keep it light, so I'm not going to get too dark in this because I believe that this already is going to, if somebody wants to know more, they can do their own further research, and there will be other conversations down the line that I will have. I want to use this, as I said before, in other conversations with you, interviews that me and you have had, is that I want to use certain conversations or interviews as hubs of where I can pivot, I can launch like a launching pad from, I can pivot from, start a series from, and then I can dive deeper into the harder conversations. All right, so hello, audience. This is Cafe Wish Podcast, and thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you checking out this interview, and if you like it, please like, share, subscribe. Hello, everyone. Thank you for checking out this Nerd Station interview. And if you like what you're hearing, please feel free to hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Hello, everyone. This is an interview I'm having with my co-host, Kai. Say hi, Kai.
Hi.
And we are discussing a topic called colorism. And we just approached, I think, a checkpoint in this interview. We talked about the definition of colorism. We talked about what colorism means. Then we addressed of the feeling of what colorism is. And then we dived in just a little bit into the ideals, the idea of colorism and the process, and possibly thought about how different ways these things were compiled and created and implemented in communities and societies around the world. Now, let's look at some poems. All right. This poem is entitled Witchcraft, What a Vexation of Spirit. The white lies are lies. The black male is being used to manipulate people to use words that are vexing. White out is a wipeout. A blackout is of nothingness. Blinded by nothing is called darkness. Somehow, like energy has been used to determine physical complexions and complexities of skin tone. Light energy has been used in a formulative component which compounds its structural differentials in vast contrast to the physical properties of biochemicals called melanin. Light spectrum and melanin hue spectrums are both used and implemented as the same, but they are not the same in comparison. One has a metric application that could be applied or organically to the other. In many other words, it's a white lie to say that they are the same. For it is vexation of spirit to impose a coloristic common law to the biological realm of the melanin hues. For it is vexation of spirit to impose a coloristic common law to the biological realm of the supernatural hue of the melanin. And when does the legality and morality meet? White lies are lies, and they are a vexation of spirit. In the multitude of arts, the multimedia arts of entertainment, there is white lies that are embedded and a vexation of spirit. In the multimedia arts of advertising and marketing, there are white lies and they are embedded and a vexation of spirit. In the multimedia arts of historical paintings, there are white lies embedded and a vexation of spirit. In the multimedia arts of motion pictures, there are white lies embedded and a vexation of spirit. For anything that controls or manipulates or deters the mind from the natural order of the dark hue being the grand hue is a form of witchcraft. Anything that deters one's mind from the natural order of anything, meaning as such things that are commonly known to man and woman, are a vexation of spirit. Anything that deters or tricks the mind to believe a lie, such as a white lie, though some may view that as a small thing, but it has a great impact. For even white lies are lies. This is witchcraft with a vexation of spirit. And then I have another poem. Legality and morality meets. The logical idea to breathe through your lips, exhaling sounds of words, comes from your mind of thoughts and memories. Cultural knowledge formulates ideals and ways that are commonly acceptable. The acceptance of customs that are and agreed in customs that are equitably measured. The evaluation and the evolution of such things bringeth changes to a social structure that is old as hues of women, men, and memory. Order and structure and function have had its place in the world. We humans call them laws, the legality of what is right and wrong. And like a sound of the tongue, of the ting and tong, the greater influences and sometimes the greater minds determine what is consequential or right and constitutionally wrong. However, there is a mystery that has legs and history. Local and folklore and everyday people have a sect of views that at times differ from the rules. They have their legality of community and commonality, which are at times in opposition to the standard ruling rule of legalization. It is here where the government of the little meets the government of the large. If you have more than a few or a remnant of a fringe to have a moral hierarchy, then the legality becomes a type of folly. The moment is this, and the times is now, is where the legality becomes and meets the morale, and the white lies formality is to formulate and create formulas to form their mischiefs by laws. Who is right and who is wrong? That's a question. What is thought to be logically or to be logical becomes an ethos of pure subjectivity and reality. Who is good and who is bad? That is a question. What is seen as pure truth now turns to unwarranted scruples. Who is in the light and who is in the dark? That is a question. Is this the darkness? Is the darkness really dark? Or is the darkness the light? That is a question. Is the lightness really light? Or is the lightness the dark? This is a question. The mystery of ways only known and can be known when the two meet. The feats, the legality, and the morality meets. All right, so these are two poems, Witchcraft, What a Vexation of Spirit, Legality and Morality Meets. Somewhat kind of long poems, but what do you think about when I'm gonna ask about what do you think about these poems? I'm not trying to get what you actually think. What did you feel when you heard the poems?
I think the one with I have like deeper like realization is with the witchcraft poem.
Okay.
It's like I never realized how in like the English words they have manipulated it. Even way back thousands of years with like how they tried to like put moral positions with colors.
Okay.
It's kind of insane how it got normalized and we didn't even think about that growing up, especially me as a kid. I've never realized how they tried to play with colors to villainize one and to uplift one. It's kind of insane how those things are overlooked by most of us.
No, in the American Black vernacular, I like to say, that's deep.
I think if for especially me as a Filipino, I think it's colorism. We don't take that as something so deeply. We are affected by it deeply, but we think of it as the right system. That's why we always try to conform into it. That's why we don't try to think about this stuff deeply. That's why we overlook that how history tried to really villainize one color, and it's insane.
So, in certain societies, people don't challenge the status quo.
Yeah.
They accept the status quo as the status quo.
Yeah, and they conform.
So, I have a question. So, when the Filipinos were in slavery under the Spaniards, the conquistadors, when the conquistadors had implemented slavery and put you guys in harsh conditions, did people challenge the status quo, or did they accept it as what it is?
Well, I think the one main, like, what you call that? The one main, like, that can prove that the Filipinos just submitted to the Spaniard colonization is the Catholicism. The religion is used as an instrument to colonize us, and it's still growing and growing over years. So I think that's the main, like, key points on whether the Filipinos submitted or not, because until now we are a very Catholic country.
So, the tools that were used to enslave you
Yes.
are the same tools that will have to be used in a different way to free you.
Well,
What do I mean by that? Right? Let's just think for a second. Right? I'm not saying use them in the same way that they've been used. Like, if a hammer is used to imprison you, then you have to use a hammer to get you out, right?
well, yeah.
To free you. Doesn't mean you use the hammer in the same way you used to enslave you, right? I don't mean that.
But I think as someone who have like a very progressive mindset, I kinda have like a love-hate relationship with religion, because here in the Philippines, religion is still one of the reason why a lot of bills about women's rights, gay rights, labor rights are not being passed because of religion. That's why, even though we are freed by it in the grand scheme of things, it's still one of the things that being used to oppress us.
So, what do you mean that you just said something paramount? You said a lot of things paramount, but one thing stuck out to me the most. You said that religion, what did you say? Religion is what?
One of the reasons why a lot of bills
No. The last thing you said. Religion. No. Before that.
The religion is one of the reasons why.
No, you said religion is one of the things that frees us
Yeah, in a grand scheme
in
of things.
How does that work?
Well, I think it's what gives people hope here in the Philippines as a third world country. I think that's in a way kind of freedom.
Okay.
And there's like a revolution here in the Philippines. Do you know it's a revolution? It is led by the Catholic people, so I gotta give them that to them. But in the grand scheme of things, religion have done good, but it also did irreparable damage.
So this is what I mean by using the hammer. The hammer can make someone be placed in captivity, right? The hammer could be used to set people free, but we don't use it the same. What I mean by that. So, if a said religion was used to enslave someone, I wouldn't recommend using that religion to free you in the same way it enslaved you. What do I mean by that? The religion can't free you and to enslave you at the same time. In my opinion. And somebody said, what are you talking about? You just said you can use the tool. I said, don't use it in the same way. So that means you have to think. if a religion was used to enslave you, that means that it was created for the purpose to give one power and to enslave another. So thinking